In today's show, data points to a Bitcoin bottom, but one metric warns of a final drop to $14,000. That's right, the bear market is far from over, but according to Glassnode, several metrics suggest that a Bitcoin capitulation has already occurred. Also in today's show, don't trust this crypto rally, warns trader who accurately called the 2022 Bitcoin collapse. Quoting Crypto Capo, don't let crypto Twitter noise change your vision of how things really are. Not worried about this scam pump, still fully out of the market, soon you will see why. And quoting on-chain analyst Will and Clemente, even if you thought Bitcoin can go to $10,000 from the current prices, with a 2025 target of $180,000, you're looking at a 1-to-9 risk-reward ratio with a 50% potential downside, but 900% upside. Invest 1% of your portfolio, you're risking a 0.5% with 9% upside to your overall holdings. No brainer. And this just in breaking news, Bitcoin network has transferred $17.78 trillion in 2022 already, smashing the previous record from 2021. And more breaking news, Samsung says new Bitcoin mining chip will be 45% more efficient and 23% more powerful. Now check this out. Celsius's lawyers claim that the users gave up their legal rights to their Bitcoin by using the platform. Another reminder to take your Bitcoin off the exchanges. Also in today's show is the low end. Macro guru Raoul Pal updates his crypto outlook as Bitcoin surpasses $22,000. Quoting the macro guru here, crypto is the low end. My view is on balance. Probably. I also think the macro turn is very close too. Have bond yields top? Probably. Returned since the panic of Three Arrows capital liquidation. Bitcoin up 24%. Ether up 71%. Also in today's show, 100x Bitcoin energy use would mean absurd $20 million Bitcoin price. Quoting the developer here, in 10 years the block subsidy will be 10x lower. In order to get 100x today's energy use, Bitcoin would have to trade at $20 million by then, but a 420 trillion market cap is absurd, more than all real estate combined. Also in today's show, Kraken Analyst outlined potential Bitcoin surge to a staggering high of $322,478. That's right, as you can see here, if Bitcoin once again climbs to a 10x to 15x multiple of its 200-week moving average, which Kraken analysts say is in its historical range, this would imply a future price range of $214,985 to $322,478. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. The goal is to get to 100,000 subs. If you like receiving that crypto news on the daily, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And be sure to check out Crypto News Alert Shorts. I release a new Shorts video every day here on the YouTube channel. And today's episode is brought to you by BlockFi, the #1 leading provider of financial products and services for crypto investors and the #1 platform to buy, sell, and earn crypto. Let me tell you why. Did you know we have an exclusive partnership? I've now been working with them for almost 2 years here on the channel, so they're giving you up to $1,000 in free Bitcoin when you buy, sell, or trade crypto with BlockFi. And some of their trading features include all of the top crypto assets, of course, with instant trades via ACH. You can trade 24/7, as well as set up repeat trades to automate your crypto portfolio. And another flagship product they offer is their BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards Visa credit card, where you can earn 3.5% Bitcoin back on all your purchases within your first 90 days. To take advantage of BlockFi and to claim up to your $1,000 bonus in Bitcoin, use my referral link in the description right down below, and let's get this crypto, shall we? All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. How's it going, crypto fam? Make some noise in the live chat. Now, when will it end is the million-dollar question that's on the mind of investors who have endured the current crypto winter and witnessed the demise of multiple protocols and investment funds over the past few months. Now, this week, Bitcoin once again finds itself testing resistance at its 200-week moving average, and the real challenge is whether it can push higher in the face of multiple headwinds, or if the price will trend back into the range it has been trapped in since early June. And according to the most recent newsletter from on-chain market intelligence firm Glassnode, it's the duration, which is the main difference between the current bear market and previous cycles. And many on-chain metrics are now comparable to these historical drawdowns. One metric in particular that has proven to be a reliable indicator of bear market bottoms is realized price, which is the value of all the Bitcoin at the price which they were bought, divided by the number of Bitcoin in circulation. And as you can see here in this chart, with the exception of the flash crash in March of 2020, 2020, Bitcoin has traded below its realized price for an extended period of time during bear markets. Quoting Glassnode here, the average time spent below the realized price is 197 days compared to the current market, which is 35 days on the clock, which would suggest that the current calls for an end of the crypto winter are premature because historical data suggests the market still has several more months of sideways price action to go before the next major uptrend. Now, will the bottom be closer to $14,000? What are your thoughts? Because when it comes to what traders should be on the lookout for and what would signify the end of the crypto winter, Glassnode highlighted the delta price and the balance price as on-chain pricing models, which tend to attract spot prices during late-stage bears, which you can see here in this chart. The previous major bear market lows were set after a short-term wick down to the delta price, which is highlighted in this chart in the green. And a similar move in the recent market would suggest a Bitcoin low near $14,215. Now, these bearish periods also saw the Bitcoin price trade in an accumulation range between the balanced price and the realized price, which is where the current price currently finds itself. And one of the classic signs that a bear market is coming to an end has been a major capitulation event that exhausted the last remaining sellers. And while some are still debating whether or not this had occurred, Glassnode highlighted the on-chain activity during the June plunge to 17,600, which is the current low, as a possible sign that capitulation has indeed taken place. As they point out here in this chart, at the time the Bitcoin fell to 17,600, there was a total volume of 9.216 million BTC holding an unrealized loss. And following the capitulation event on June 18th, a month of consolidation and a price rally to 21,200, this volume has now declined to 7.68 million BTC. And quoting Glassnode here, what this suggests is that 1.539 million BTC were last transacted between 17,600 and $21,200. This indicates that around 8% of the circulating supply has changed hands in this price range. And further evidence of capitulation having already taken place was the staggering volume of BTC that locked in a realized loss between May and July. The collapse of the Terra ecosystem triggered a total realized loss of $27.77 billion, while the June 18th plunge below the 2017 cycle all-time high resulted in a total realized loss of $35.5 billion. Now, is this the end of the bear market? What are your thoughts? One final metric suggests capitulation has already occurred is the adjusted spent output profit ratio, which compares the value of outputs at the time they were spent to where they were created. And according to Glassnode, when profitability is declining, investors are to realize larger losses that eventually lead to a final waterfall moment of capitulation, which is highlighted here in the red. And quoting Glassnode again here, the market eventually reaches seller exhaustion, prices start to recover, and investor pain starts to subside. And in order to verify that capitulation has indeed taken place and accumulation is underway, Glassnode indicated that the SOPR value would ideally need to recover back above 1. Now, did you know Celsius lawyers claim their users gave up the legal rights to their Bitcoin by using their platform? That's all it took. So do take heed and take your Bitcoin off the exchanges before it's too late. And before I break down next story of the day, don't trust this crypto rally, warns crypto trader who accurately called the 2022 Bitcoin collapse. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, all the major cryptos are currently pumping. And in the green, we have Bitcoin up 0.5% for the day, trading above 22,300. Yesterday, briefly, we crossed above the 200-week moving average, sitting at 22,600. And Ether is up 6% for the day, trading just under $1,600, which we breached yesterday. We have Solana pumping up 11%, trading above $46 and breaking out along with the rest of the crypto market. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. This anonymous trader known as Crypto Capo tells his almost 500,000 Twitter followers that he is still fully out of the crypto market as he believes that the price action of Bitcoin suggests sellers remain in control. Quoting him here on Crypto Twitter, "Good morning. I hope y'all enjoyed the weekend. What we have here for Bitcoin is basically a range. Now the key is to know if it's accumulation or redistribution. Range is small compared to the other ones. Accumulations are usually big. Funding is mostly positive. Open interest building up like crazy, positions opening, and CVD increasing a lot, which means that the longs are aping very aggressively. In my opinion, this is clearly redistribution. Longs trapped in the same setup that we have been seeing these months, while indicators are bearish. Also, if you zoom out, you can see a lot of hidden bearish divergences formed by the 4-week, and meaning that the big week 5 is missing. I remain out of the market. The crypto analyst also says there are a lot of hidden bearish divergences visible from a zoomed out view of the market, suggesting that the recent surge is likely to be temporary. He calls the latest price bounce, a scam pump, convinced that Bitcoin will eventually retrace. Quoting him here, don't let crypto Twitter noise change your vision of how things really are. Not worried about this scam pump, still fully out of the market. Soon, you will see why. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the Crypto Analyst. And quoting Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model, Bitcoin 22,300, back above the 200-week moving average and realized price. If this holds until July close, it would not surprise me if we complete the upside BART pattern back to 30,000 before September close, and then back to business. From there, let me know if you agree or disagree with Plan B. And before I break down next story of the day, is the low end. Macro guru Raoul Pal updates his crypto outlook as Bitcoin surpasses $22,000. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting above that $1 trillion milestone. Let's go. With $107 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance on the decline at 41.1% and the Ether dominance at 18.3%. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers in the past 24 hours, we have Phantom leading the pack up 18%, trading above 33 cents, followed by Waves up almost 14.5%, trading at $6.15, followed by Thorchain up 12%, trading at $2.83. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers for the past week, you can see a sea of green with literally 98 or about 97 out of the top 100 pumping, and in the green, LDO leading the pack, which is Lido up 167%. We have Ethereum Classic up a whopping 83%, and Matic up 64.4%. Gotta love it. Also checking out one of my favorite indicators. It's the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we are now rated a 30 in fear, and finally out of that extreme fear territory. It's about time. Yesterday was a 20, last week a 16, and last month a 6 in extreme fear. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That could be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Real Vision CEO Raoul Pal believes the crypto markets have likely been through the worst of it and that a turn in macro conditions may be around the corner. Let's go. The macro guru tells his almost 1 million Twitter followers that the low for crypto is probably in, citing major gains since the Three Arrows Capital saga began. Quoting him here on Crypto Twitter, crypto is the low end. My view is on balance. Probably. Also think that the macro turn is very close too. Have bond yields top? Probably. Returned since the panic of Three Arrows Capital liquidation. Bitcoin up 24%. Ether up 71%. Solana up 64%. Avalanche up 77%. Polkadot up 26%. Aave up 116%. Uniswap up 131%. And XRP up 29%. And looking closely at Ethereum, Powell also points out that the non-fungible tokens, better known as NFTs, are on the rise yet again for the leading smart contract platform. Quoting him here, NFTs are rising in ETH volumes, and floor prices are rising too for good, trusted projects. Bottoms in crypto are not usually a straight line higher, and there is often a big gut check at some point or sideways range for a few months after an initial recovery. Let's see. However, the Real Vision CEO says that a rising US dollar has the potential to act as a wild card for much of the financial landscape. He notes that the ADXY index, which pins Asian currencies against the US dollar, is close to collapsing, which suggests a further soaring US dollar and more pressure on risk assets like crypto. And he says that the Japanese yen is showing similar weakness. Quoting him here, dollar wrecking ball. This chart concerns me. The South Korean won with the yen is in a free fall. The UN will follow over time, and the won is not yet priced for it in this hugely leveraged economy. And he also shares, and the ADXY is very close to breaking down. This has got a global dollar crisis written all over it. If there is a wild card in all of this economic mess, the dollar is it. On the plus side, it is hugely deflationary if it happens. Now, someone responded to Raul on Twitter, so this is probably a bottom, which may at some point probably have a gut check, which could actually manifest itself, not so much as a gut check, but probably a massive sideways range. There's probably no outcome that isn't covered here. And Raul responded, there are no certainties in this life, just probabilities. Facts. And before I break down next story of the day, 100x Bitcoin use would mean absurd $20 million Bitcoin price, as well as Kraken Analyst outline potential. Bitcoin surged to staggering high of 322,000 $478. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. The greatest thing you can do to help support the show is show some love by smashing that subscribe button, hit the like, and drop a comment. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, you can find me on all the major podcasting platforms, from Spotify, home of the Joe Rogan Experience, to Apple's iTunes and Google Play. We're currently receiving over 500,000 downloads per month. And if you're not listening to the pod, be sure to check it out. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. A new contributor to the Bitcoin energy debate says that one Bitcoin could have a cost of $20 million to use 100 times its current energy demands. That's right. In a new Twitter debate on July 18th, we have Provost, a Bitcoin developer and author of Bitcoin, a Work in Progress, who cast doubt on the largest crypto's future energy use. Now, how much energy Bitcoin uses to survive has become a topic of friction, which has gone from within the industry to global government as the spread of FUD continues. Throughout the process, Bitcoin proponents have complained that a combination of bias and lack of understanding of network principles are leading those in power to make incorrect conclusions about how and why Bitcoin uses the energy it does. Facts. And while critics argue that Bitcoin must reduce its energy consumption, others explain that Bitcoin in fact uses energy which would often otherwise be wasted or is inaccessible. In discussing the status quo, fellow developer Matt Odell published a graphic showing that Bitcoin mining currently only uses less than 0.5% of the world's wasted electricity and 0.16% of electricity overall. Numbers don't lie. In responding, Provost calculated that for energy use to increase proportionally with changes in the Bitcoin network's reprogram changes, it would have to become an absurd $420 trillion entity. Quoting him here, in 10 years, the block subsidy will be 10x lower after 3 halvings. In order to get 100x today's energy use, Bitcoin would have to trade at $20 million by then, plus energy cost inflation adjustment. And quoting him here, but a $420 trillion market cap is absurd, more than all real estate. The Bitcoin's halving cycles mean that the block subsidy, which is the amount of new Bitcoin added to the supply per mined block, halves roughly every 4 years. Each time the mining ecosystem competes for less Bitcoin, and thanks to Bitcoin's proof of work mining algorithm remains incentivized to do so, devoting more hardware to their endeavors. And more hardware means more power, but at the same time, the smaller reward, more efficient hardware, and greater impact of transaction fees on miner revenue should keep energy use in check. As shared here, another 12 years later, and even if Bitcoin is worth more than all the world's real estate, the mining subsidy would not be enough for Bitcoin to use more than 1% of global energy. He continued, noting that his calculations were not verified, and quoting him again here, so if nothing weird happens before 2030, it can probably keep running on waste energy breadcrumbs. But all right, now let's break down our final story of the day and the bullish prediction you've all been waiting for. Analysts at the crypto exchange Kraken are looking at Bitcoin's historic price action to determine where the top crypto asset may be heading into the long run. A new report from Kraken Intelligence uses Bitcoin's 200-week moving average as a crystal ball, and specifically, Kraken looks at the multiples that Bitcoin has traded at relative to its 200-week moving average of the past. Bitcoin is now trading close to the 200-week moving average, which we briefly surpassed just yesterday at around 22,600. And a chart from Kraken shows that when Bitcoin's price has previously dropped to 1x of its 200-week moving average, big rallies have often ensued. Let's go. And the Bitcoin once again climbs to a 10x to 15x multiple of its 200-week moving average, which Kraken analysts say is in its historical range. This would imply a future Bitcoin price range of $214,985 to $322,478. Let's freaking go. Send it. Now, Kraken Intelligence is zooming out from this data, plotting Bitcoin's price chart back to its early days. Its charts highlight Bitcoin's December 11th, 2017 high of about 19,660 when the crypto king's multiple reached a local high of 15.2x. It also marks a 13.2x multiple that was reached back in November of 2013. Now, of course, Bitcoin has not surged 10x its multiple or higher every time it has touched its 200-week moving average. In March of 2021, the multiple hit a local high of 5.8x before the crypto markets entered a significant downturn. So there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding the Bitcoin price climbing 15x and potentially hitting $322,478? Let me know in the comments below. Now for the top 3 comments from yesterday's episode, Tommy Boy wrote, "Chirp, chirp, JV. I might be wrong, but I think you need to replace the batteries in your smoke alarm. I listen to your show every day and greatly appreciate the content. I just keep hearing that chirp in the background periodically. No worries. I keep listening regardless. Much love." Well, good news. I finally found where that specific smoke detector was located. located, and I changed the battery, so no more chirping. Thanks for bringing it to my attention, as if it wasn't driving me crazy already. I just couldn't locate precisely where it was, but now it's resolved. And our next featured comment comes from Bring Facts. Is last year's late July pump making its annual comeback? Pump it up. Let's go. And our third and final comment comes from eCoin. Aloha. JV starting off the week with crypto news alerts is always good. Thanks for another great show. The King Crypto poised for a small crank. I greatly appreciate your continued support, fam. Hodl gang. And to be featured on tomorrow's episode, drop me a comment right down below.